Good morning, everyone. My name is Bhavna, and I am a student of BA Political Science Honors, second year, and I am here to present my presentation on the topic budget. So, let's start.
In this video, I am going to cover these 6 topics, that is, what is budget, why do we need budget, features and principles of budget, and what is the process of budget, and lastly, advantages and disadvantages of budget. Budget is a very important and crucial component of a country. Now, what is budget? Budget is an estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time. H.M. Donovan described budget as an concrete, precise picture of the total operation of an enterprise in monetary terms. It basically means that budget is an operational plan of a country for a specified period of time. In basic terms, budget means that it is a well planned manner of a country, that how much a country will invest and how much it will consume and how much it will save. Now, the basic question is that why do we need a budget for a country? There are three reasons for why do we need budget. That is savings, spending money and expenses. We need budget to get an estimate of how much we have to save and how much we have to spend and how much we have to invest in the coming year. Now, features of budget. First of all, the budget should be flexible so that there is a scope in the near future according to the need to the change some estimates of the budget. Secondly, the budget should be a synthesis of past, present, and future. The budget should not only include the future events but also reflect the past and the present situations in their budget. Budget should be a product of joint venture plus corporation of department heads at different levels of management. Yes, the budgeting process should not only be limited to a specific group, it should include all the different levels of management in our country. Budget should be in form of statistical standard laid down in specific numerical terms. It is always said that the quantitative data is more easily understandable than the qualitative data. So, this feature states that the uh, the budget data should be laid down in numerical terms. Budget should have support of the top management throughout the period of its planning and supplementation. Yes, budget should always have support of its management throughout, that is, from beginning to the end, from planning to the implementation of the budget. Budget is a plan of program and has a comprehensive plan of action. Yes, budget is always goal oriented. The budget should estimate revenues and expenditure as accurately as possible. Now, principles of budget. The budget has certain principles which should be kept in mind while forming the budget of any financial year. Firstly, the budget should provide sound financial management by focusing on requirement of the organization. Secondly, the budget should focus on the objectives and policies of the organization. Thirdly, The budget should ensure the most effective use of financial and non financial resources. Now, the process of budgeting. Every budget goes through certain procedures. Now, let's discuss each of these procedures in a bit detail. Here is a 10-step budgeting process. First of all, we determine timeline. There are many budgets that we come across in our day to day lives, like there are 1 month budgets, 1 year budgets, 2 year budgets, a financial year budget. So, by timeline, here it means that we should determine that from when to when this particular budget is applicable in our country. We should all set certain specified targets that that in this specified period we have to achieve these targets like overcome poverty, etc. Next is understand the current financial status of the country. That what are the problems and what is the financial status of the country to tackle those problems. Is the financial wealth in a country enough to solve those problems? The next is agree on a budget approach. After agreeing all the alternatives and all the discussions, after all the discussions, we should agree on our budget approach, on our conclusion budget approach. The next is develop a draft expense budget. We should develop our expense budget, and the next is develop draft income budget. After developing the draft income budget, we need to review the draft budget and then pass it to the parliament for the approval of both the houses and also of the presidents. And then after getting the president's assent, we need to document these budget decisions, and then we implement the budget and in our society, and that's how our budget process is completed. So the next is advantages and disadvantages of the budget. The first advantage of budget is that the budget gives business a direction. Many of the multinational companies and industries get incentives from the budget. So it is said that a budget gives business a direction. Secondly, it forces the management to think ahead. Considering all our present situations and our problems, our management try to tackle all those problems in the future financial year. Third, it provides basis to measure the performance. Every financial year budget is compared to the last budget about its performance. Fourth, encourage communication and coordination. The budget process includes lots of discussions in in the in the making of budget, so it encourages the communication and coordination between the people. These were the advantages of budget. Now let's discuss about the disadvantages of the budget. First of all, the budget is very time consuming. The discussion process and the making of budget takes lots of time, and it is also very costly. Thirdly, an unpredictability of the future events. We cannot be certain about the future events, or we cannot say that our this financial year budget is going to tackle all the problems in going on in our country. Fourthly, the budget reveals some of the confidential information of the MNCs, industries, and also of the government. Fourthly, there is a tendency of spending to the budget. In the budgeting process, there is lots of money spent. Last, The budgeting process may create lots of conflict in the society. Some will like it, some will dislike it. Or in the budgeting process also, some will be in favor of some action taken and some will be against it. So this budget process creates lots of conflict in the minds of the people. So these were the advantages and disadvantages of the budget. With this, I would I would like to end my PPT. Thank you everyone for listening me.